Hello Constellation, welcome to Starchaeology Tarot. My name is Desi. My intention with this reading is to empower you with gentle, supportive guidance and use ASMR to help rewire your brain to this state of empowerment. When your brain is in an alpha or theta state, you're more connected to your subconscious, your intuition, and your truth. This is the best time to receive empowering messages through tarot. This is likely going to be different from most of YouTube tarot that you see. I'm not going to tell you what future is going to happen to you, as if you're some passive, powerless observer of your own life. My aim is only to be a catalyst for your own self-discovery, self-growth, and self-actualization. You are the one who does your own healing. You are the one who walks your own path. You are the one who creates your future. What you believe about that path and that future and that power that you wield is crucial to how the path itself materializes. Now let's begin. This is deck 1. This is deck 2. This is deck 3. And this is deck 4. Which one calls to you? It could be one or multiple. You could also listen to all 4 readings and receive resonant messages from all of them. When you know which deck is for you, use the timestamps below to jump to the reading of your choice. Hello, deck number 1. Welcome to your reading. Calling in your guides, your angels. What are the messages for deck number 1? Of Pentacles. Whoa. Okay. Wheel of Fortune. Knight of Pentacles. Page of Cups. Strength in reverse. Give us one more card, Spirit. One more card, Spirit. Oh my gosh. 10 of Cups in reverse. Okay, those of you who chose deck number 1. So you're finding yourself in a position right now, in this 2 of Pentacles, Page of Cups in reverse position, where you're juggling multiple priorities. You're really having to manage your time. It feels like you're spinning a bunch of plates in the air in this almost infinite-like pattern or flow. And it's easy to get very caught up in this plate spinning act. So much so that it might be causing you to doubt your intuition, to doubt new creative ideas that you have, and maybe it's even reverting you to a kind of emotional immaturity that we all have in us. But the conditions are right for you to be reverting back maybe to a younger version of yourself. All of this to say, this 2 of Pentacles isn't necessarily bringing out the best in you. It isn't encouraging those new ideas. It isn't strengthening your intuition. It's making you doubt it. It's almost like the distraction of this, of having so many plates to be spinning, having so many things to prioritize. You're getting caught up in the day-to-day things, the to-do lists, and you're losing the joy of being alive. You're also losing sight of what is most important to you and losing connection to the all-knowing divine part of you and that creative part of you that really is the part of you that always wants to keep learning and keep growing. Page of Cups. Like all pages, as a student, there's a childlike energy in this Page of Cups. There's a willingness to learn, to emotionally grow, a curiosity about relationships, about emotions, about creativity. When we see this in reverse, we see that the shadow side of the Page of Cups coming out, not embracing that studenthood, that curiosity, but instead doubting the new ideas, doubting the curiosity, experiencing creative blocks, a fear of starting over, a fear of beginning new projects, a fear of starting new relationships, a fear of emotional beginnings. It's compounded by this juggling act that you have going on in this Two of Pentacles. The juggling act makes it hard to turn this Page of Cups upright. Now, ironically, you're also at a time where you may be experiencing a kind of good luck, things aligning in certain ways for you, karma coming back to deliver what is owed to you, life cycles coming full circle, destiny taking charge, destiny taking the wheel. You're on the cusp of a turning point, Pile 1. But don't be so distracted that you can't see it. Don't be so committed to this juggling act that you miss all of the signs that destiny, the universe, is putting in your path in order to guide you and direct you. Don't ignore the signs. Don't ignore the alignment. Don't ignore the synchronicities. Destiny is fighting your day-to-day schedule. Destiny is fighting your day-to-day habits, your typical structure, because destiny's trying to pull you out of that. And right now, the biggest threat to you saying yes to what you are destined for is your commitment to what's familiar. Commitment is a wonderful thing, unless it's a commitment to something that we have outgrown, that is no longer right for us. Answering this call of destiny is requiring great inner strength on your part. It may cause you to experience self-doubt, raw emotion. It may cause you to face your inner demons, your lions, your monsters that you've tried to cage away in the different parts, nooks and crannies of yourself. But in order to say yes to this destiny, it means facing these parts of yourself that you've avoided facing. And I think, Pile 1, this is wrapped up in your commitment to going through certain daily motions, your commitment to things that maybe your heart isn't in, but you feel like you have to do them. The tasks that you've committed yourself to, the juggling act you've committed to yourself to, why are you still doing that? Is it really for you? Or is it for other people? Or is it for your ego? It is not serving the highest part of you. It is not serving the destiny that is calling to you. And it's going to take great inner strength to put down those juggling balls, to put down the spinning plates, or allow them to fall, allow them to crash and shatter on the ground. Don't keep something alive just because you think that being alive is better than being dead. Death and destruction have a very important place in our lives too. Sometimes the kindest, most loving thing we can do for ourselves and for others is to allow something to die, to allow something to end, or to allow something to be destroyed, to allow certain plates to shatter to the ground. Your advice, Pile 1, is to apply the same kind of commitment, hard work, productivity, the kind of step-by-step, baby steps towards your goal that you've had with these spinning plates and with this juggling act. Apply that same kind of work ethic, that same day-to-day commitment instead to your emotional world. Apply it to healing the disconnection that you feel right now, the misaligned values, maybe the struggling relationships, or the relationships whose energy just feels off, imbalanced. This 10 of Cups in reverse signifies that there is a kind of discord, a kind of disharmony that you are experiencing emotionally. The more you do this, you may be thinking that this will right itself. The truth is that this action needs to be stopped. This action needs to be fundamentally changed in order for you really to turn this around 180 degrees. There needs to be a total shift in focus. And it has to do with answering this call of destiny and facing things, parts of yourself that maybe you've been putting off facing. The encouraging message here is that this 10 of Cups, this happily ever after, this connection, harmony, appreciation, gratitude, this feeling of alignment, emotional alignment, is totally possible for you. It's there waiting for you. It's part of this Wheel of Fortune destiny that is coming into your vortex now and waiting to be chosen by you, waiting to be manifested in your three-dimensional experience. It all depends on how you proceed, and if you can apply this same hard work ethic that you've been applying to these commitments, maybe that aren't even yours but were projected upon you. If you can apply that same work ethic, that same patience and day-to-day chipping away instead towards what is in your heart and what you feel needs deep healing, then the possibilities for you are endless, Pile 1, and that is when you really fulfill your destiny at this turning point in time. I love you, Pile 1. I'm wishing you the best. See you next time. Hello, those of you who chose deck number 2. Welcome to your reading. Calling in your guides, your angels. What are the messages for Pile 2? have the Emperor in reverse. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Knight of Swords in reverse. We have the Ace of Cups. Oops. And we have the 10 of Swords. Or sorry, 8 of Swords in reverse. Okay, pile 2. So, you're in a place right now where you may be... I'm hearing different messages for some of you, actually. You're in a place where balance, moderation, patience is a priority for you. It's front and center. It feels like you are striving to walk the middle path, to not be swept into one extreme or another. You're making an effort to live in the gray, to be in the in-between, which is where the truth normally lies. The truth is always in the middle. What's interesting is the Knight of Swords is here as well. It's in reverse. So that's indicating a presence of the shadow side of the Knight of Swords, which is more restless, unfocused, impulsive. And it's like saying that what you're trying to do is you're trying to be balanced, you're trying to be moderate, you're trying to be fair in your decision making, you're trying to do this, truly divine act, so divine that it defies the laws of nature sometimes. To be in this place of temperance is something that feels so impossible. It's the work, we see it as the work of angels. To have one foot in the water and one foot on land, to be pouring between two cups and defying gravity. And yet you're so burned out, you're so restless and unfocused that it causes you to make, if not impulsive decisions, impulsive judgments, to have impulsive thoughts, to be thinking, to be having an experience and find yourself making quick, snap judgments about that experience, about what that means, about the world, or about that person, or about your relationship, or about your destiny, or about your path, or about your career, or what you deserve. And that alone, it's like temperance requires a level of surrender, and you're trying to do it without the surrender part. It's like Knight of Swords is stubborn in how he thinks. He thinks he has all the answers. He races into battle. He makes impulsive decisions based on assumptions, essentially. And you're taking those same assumptions, maybe, pile 2, and using them to maybe try to create a kind of false sense of balance or moderation. But you're not surrendering into that balance or moderation. It's like you find yourself being balanced or being moderate or walking the middle path, but yet you don't feel the benefits of balance. You still feel as stressed, as overwhelmed as if you were on one side or the other. And that's because it's taking such an effort to walk that middle path. Instead of surrendering and holding space for the middle path, finding yourself in the middle path. It's like white-knuckling your way through the middle path. The middle path should be a laying down of arms, a laying down of this sword. Others of you, if that's not resonant, then I think some of you are surrendering into this middle path, and it's because it has been preceded by a time of incredible restlessness, unfocused thinking, unfocused behavior, and impulsivity. So it's really this Knight of Swords way of life that has made way for this temperance in your life. It's like you've exhausted yourself to the point that now you just find yourself in this place of temperance because you're giving up. And I can already hear that many of you are judging yourself for that, thinking of what it means to give up, and you sense that kind of giving up, and maybe you're seeing this middle path, this temperance place, as a bad thing, when in fact this Knight of Swords in reverse gave way for something that was actually a real blessing, a kind of letting go of attachment, a kind of surrender where you're free to just meet yourself where you are. Something that is making it really hard to surrender into this place of temperance is the Emperor that we see in reverse, and it's paired with this Ace of Cups. I think many of you want this middle path because you see this as a step to this, which is some sort of new beginning emotionally. It's almost like you're trying to mend your heart. You're trying to open your heart. Maybe some of you, what you're trying to do is love again. Others of you are trying to find your joy again. You're trying to find your reason for being. You're trying to find fulfillment and alignment. And there's something intuitively you know that a kind of surrendering needs to precede that kind of new beginning. A kind of giving up needs to happen. In 12-step programs, we talk about turning things over to a higher power in order to make space really for miracles to come to us, to make space for new feelings, not just the same old patterns, the same old feelings that we've become addicted to and committed to. So you know that there is a kind of surrendering that needs to happen, a surrendering towards this middle way of just holding space for all that is, the dark and the light, the good and the bad, and know that precedes, because it's a place of non-attachment, it precedes this place of being able to see the beauty in everything, feeling the love for everything, and feeling your heart revived, your heart reborn. I've never normally thought about this, but temperance in that sense is very childlike. You know, a kid, before a kid knows how to judge things, it's just, a kid just kind of treats a lot of things equally, like holding space for the good guys and the bad guys in the movie, and kind of reveling in the existence of both, because that's what creates the joy of play and the drama and the adventure. And of course it's because for a kid the stakes are low. You know, in a healthy home environment, there's safety, there's security there, so they can hold space for the dark and the light, all that there is, and they don't necessarily have judgments right away. Those judgments are all learned. So this is a kind of, and also a kid, I think we're all trying to work backward in making our hearts as open as they were when we were little. We're trying to reopen our hearts, heal them and reopen them so that they can return to the manufacturer settings. And this kind of temperance and holding space for extremes, dualities, and walking this middle path and seeing it all and accepting it all, there's something intuitively you know that is that's similar to that childlike mindset, and it's that childlike mindset that makes your heart so open and puts you in a place of openness and receiving and loving, just ready to love. The fact that we see the Emperor here in reverse, we're seeing the shadow side of authority, the shadow side of structure, of control. This is excessive control. This is domination. This is discipline to a fault. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's complete lack of discipline, complete lack of control. Either way, it's control that is out of balance, either not enough or so inflexible that it's compromising your ability to have that open heart, to really allow your heart to be reborn. So again, either some of you, I think, are trying to control this temperance experience to such an extreme that it defeats the purpose, or there is such a lack of control, such a lack of discipline that you haven't just surrendered. You've given up to a point where you actually do find yourself in another extreme, which is a kind of extreme depression and extreme closedness, and that's not good either. Sometimes we think because there is this element of surrender to temperance, that surrender does equal giving up, and I sometimes use the word giving up in a way that is positive, but when paired with the Emperor in reverse here, that's suggesting that it's the kind of giving up that is so extreme. It's not a giving up of attachment, it's a giving up of hope too. It's a giving up of an open heart, of an open mind, of loving kindness towards ourselves and to others. And when you start giving up those things, then it's not really surrender anymore. It's not really surrender to the middle. It's you found your way to a whole other extreme. Now, what's the advice here? Pile 2, we see the Knight of Wands, and it's paired with the 8 of Swords in reverse. Your piece of guidance, what your guides are telling you is that you have a mission cut out for you, Pile 2, a mission of knighthood level, a duty to yourself, to apply your energy and your passion and your lust for life towards battling and defeating certain self-limiting beliefs that you have. These self-limiting beliefs, this inner critic, this negativity, this is what needs to be purged from you, Pile 2, so that you can be open to new perspectives. The whole struggle here is rooted in self-limiting beliefs. So what do you believe about yourself, whether it's about opening your heart up again, or relinquishing control, or loosening the reins a little bit on your life, or breaking the rules a little bit, or on the other hand, incorporating some structure in your life. Where do your self-limiting beliefs live? Where, in what realm here are your self-limiting beliefs applying to? What do you believe about yourself that makes you feel small, that makes this situation feel impossible, or makes it feel challenging? It's probably, Pile 2, something that you are just accepting as truth, and it isn't the truth. It is not the true nature of who you are. It is not the true nature of your being. You are so much more. You are so much more, and you are so much more capable than you are able to realize in your in your current mindset. Remember that even your current mindset is not you, and that there is a voice inside you that is your truest, highest self. It is the divine part of you. And it's the part of you that is perhaps emotionally responding to these words, or the part of you that is resonating with these words, because it's the part of you that knows they're true. Now is the time to attack these self-limiting beliefs, to defeat them, to slay this dragon. The dragon is inside the house. It isn't outside of yourself. It isn't someone else. It isn't society. It isn't things that other people or the world are projecting upon you. You can say no at any time. You can rescue yourself at any time. And that is the work you have cut out for you. At this point, Pile 2, I have full faith that you can do the hard work and reap the immeasurable reward. I love you. I'll see you next time. Hello, those of you who chose deck number 3. Welcome to your reading. Calling in your guides, your angels. What are the messages for Pile 3? Pile 3, we have 6 of Wands to begin. Ooh, very exciting. Queen of Swords in reverse. Oops. 5 of Cups. Give me 3 more cards, Spirit. 3 more cards, Spirit. Six of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. Give me 1 more card, Spirit. Wow, and the High Priestess. Okay, Pile 3. There is some issue around giving and receiving. Maybe an imbalance around giving and receiving in your life that you have recently. You're at a place now where you've conquered this, or you've rebalanced this. Maybe it was a relationship that had unequal power dynamics, maybe unhealthy power dynamics, or a relationship where you were giving a lot and receiving very little, or receiving a great deal and not giving very much in return, and maybe feeling guilty about that. 6 of Pentacles is a very complicated card in tarot. I think it's one of the most complicated, complex cards in the deck, and it really can cover a lot of different topics in your life, but the main message there is the balance between giving and receiving, and understanding that sometimes a symbiotic relationship or a comfortable relationship is not equal in this way, and sometimes those relationships are good until they are no longer good, and there maybe was a part of you that knew that something was not good there, and you conquered it, or you're in the process right now of conquering this, of reigning victorious over this imbalance. I think others of you, it's very literal. You've been victorious in some way when it comes to receiving charity or giving charity. Some of you maybe have just gained a benefactor or gained a supporter of your work, a patron maybe. Others of you have accomplished something in the realm of giving on maybe a massive scale. Maybe you work in nonprofit work, or there's something having to do with your life mission and purpose, and your work that involves a great deal of generosity, helping others and offering that help to others, and that is what you are. You've experienced a victory in some way. It could also mean that there's something in this realm that has put you in the public eye, or has given you some kind of public recognition. Whether it's loud or it's quiet, it is progress, and it is bolstering your self-confidence. I see you gaining power in a way. I'm hearing for some of you, you've gained back power where power was taken from you, or maybe power was never given to you in the first place. You've gained that power. You've won power. You've taken your power back. So bravo for those of you for whom that is resonant. So interesting to have two queens here, almost like mirror images of each other, the reverse and upright. When the Queen of Swords is in reverse, we see someone who is embodying the shadow side of the Queen of Swords, so unable to transmute past pain into wisdom. The Queen of Swords, when she's upright, she's better at this than anyone else. She's able to transmute that past pain into wisdom and still keep inviting life forward, inviting life to her. When we see her in reverse, we see someone who struggles with that, who gets caught up in that past pain and allows it to make her either super cold-hearted or overly emotional, and very easily triggered, very easily influenced, easily shaped. Her ideas, her beliefs are very, very easily shaped by that past pain and by perhaps a kind of victim mentality. Seeing this paired with the Queen of Pentacles tells me that this is someone in your life whom you rely on a great deal. Someone who may be this kind of overly emotional or very cold-hearted, whichever direction that goes in, person, and yet she or he provides for you in a very real way. They are so reliable and so dependable when it comes to resources and tools that you really need in order to survive. You trust them, you depend on them, and they want to take care of you in this way, or they want to provide for you in very literal ways, whether it's like food, shelter, money, giving you literal gifts, just helping you to survive in this world on a very physical level, in the physical plane. So it's kind of disorienting to see this in the same person, because this is someone who is reliable, but then this emotionality or lack thereof is where their pain comes into the picture, and for whatever reason it's the greatest obstacle to you being victorious over this imbalanced power dynamic. Now, others of you, if this wasn't resonant, if there isn't someone in your life who's this way, then I think what it's referring to is that this is different parts of yourself that are at battle. A Queen of Swords in reverse, someone who again is struggling to transmute past pain into wisdom, versus the part of you that really wants to trust yourself, the part of you that really wants to provide for yourself and depend on yourself the way that you are able to get other people to depend on you and trust you. Isn't it amazing how sometimes we can be so trustworthy and reliable and dependable for others, but then when it comes to ourselves we fall short, and likely there may be this falling short may be happening for you because of the beliefs that you've come to believe due to past painful experiences. They have not gone through this process of being transmuted to wisdom. Instead, they are they're sitting within you, and they're turning sour. And they're taking up space. And you're holding on to them as if you're trying to preserve the pain. And ironically, not letting the pain evolve into the wisdom that it was always meant to become. And this struggle is the greatest obstacle to being victorious over this giving and receiving imbalance, or this imbalanced power dynamic. This has to do with how you trust yourself, how you believe in yourself, what you believe about yourself, what you believe about the painful experiences in your life. Do they empower you? Do they make you more trustworthy? Do they give you more evidence of how you show up for yourself and how you're able to rely on yourself and take care of things and save yourself? Or do they disempower you? Do they make you feel helpless? Like you can't stand on your own 2 feet? What stories are you telling yourself about them? The advice here is so beautiful and so clear. Pile 3, we have the 5 of Cups, and it's paired with the High Priestess. There is a part of you that is awakening right now. And it's no surprise that you're finding yourself here in this reading, having picked Pile 3, because it's your intuition that led you here. Your intuition is waking up. Your divine knowing, your deeper knowing, is trying to take the reins for you right now, is trying to guide you and lead you in order to deal with your past pain, loss, grief, disappointment. There's no doubt you have past pain, grief, disappointment. But the 5 of Cups represents a temporary mourning period, a temporary grieving period, temporary being the key word. It's so important to devote time to grieving and mourning appropriately and fully, so that then the period can come to a natural end. If we push that off, if we don't let ourselves grieve, if we lock that grief away, if we lock that disappointment away and don't feel it, don't explore it, don't engage with it, what happens is the period never comes to its natural end. We stunt its evolution. We stall its evolution. We arrest it in its tracks. And we never are able then to turn around and see the hope that is before us, the next steps. These 3 cups may have fallen over, but there are 2 cups still standing right behind us. And if we turn around and pick those up, we'll likely see 2 more cups there and 2 more cups there. Our path unfolding, our path full of hope unfolding before us. Things to look forward to, things to be grateful for. But we can't turn around and see those 2 cups unless we properly grieve the loss of the 3 cups that fell over. And you intuitively know that there is something very important here, a missing piece of your grief process that you need to let yourself have. Your higher self knows how important it is to let yourself mourn, to let yourself grieve, to let yourself feel the loss of something, and really show such loving kindness to yourself in this process. It could be also, Pile 3, that you are stalling this because there is something, an awakening that is waiting for you in the grieving process. I'm hearing this is for some of you. Sometimes we don't want to let ourselves have this process because we don't want something good to come from it. We don't want something good to come to us, or a realization for us to have, or some sort of self-actualization to come from something that was so painful and bad, the death of someone that we love very much. Of course, we don't want to be able to label that as, to find the silver lining of that, because it feels insulting to their memory. But the truth is that there is light and dark to everything. And if this is about a loss of a person or a relationship, perhaps there is a world where it is part of some greater, beautiful picture. And that endings or death don't need to be negative, but instead they can just be what they are. Endings. I think for some of you there is a great awakening, a deepening of your own intuition, psychic power, and connection to the divine that is wrapped up in allowing yourself to grieve properly. And this grief may change you, but that's nothing to be afraid of. In fact, it's like putting off one of the greatest things that could happen to you. It's like putting off something, a blessing, putting off the next version of yourself that you are invited to blossom into. And we only honor what we've lost by embodying love better, by embodying harmony, wholeness, truth, beauty better. We don't honor them by remaining hurt. We don't honor what we've lost by affirming how incomplete we are, what victims we are, how small we are, how imperfect we are, how angry we are, or how sad we are. All those are passing experiences, but they aren't who we are at our core. I hope this gives you some encouragement and some peace. Pile 3. There's a beautiful adventure I feel ahead of you, and I hope that you listen to your intuition here, that you honor this deep knowing, and that you say yes to what's before you. I love you very much. I'll see you next time. Hello, those of you who chose deck number 4. Welcome to your reading. I'm calling in your guides and your angels. What are the messages for pile 4? So we have the Knight of Pentacles, pile 4. Okay. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Lovers, and we have the 3 of Pentacles. Let's give me 3 more cards, Spirit. Give me 3 more cards, Spirit. Okay. Let's see. Queen of Wands. 5 of Cups. Page of Cups. Knight of Swords as well. Pile 4, we find you in a really, I want to say, steady place right now. That's what's coming up for me immediately, seeing this Knight of Pentacles paired with this Queen of Wands. You are feeling a great deal of purpose. You are, something is lighting you up regarding your mission, something is lighting you up regarding your mission, your purpose, your passion. And maybe it's not where you think it is. Like, maybe you're thinking, oh, but I don't like my job, or I don't have what I want relationship-wise. Look somewhere else. Is there something that is exciting you? Is there something that's making you feel alive right now? Is there some area of your life that you feel a great deal of determination and direction in? I'm seeing that you are in this place of feeling this way, and you're also making steady progress. You're moving towards a goal very sure-footedly. It might not be happening quickly. In fact, it may be happening quite slowly. But the Knight of Pentacles is the tortoise and the hare story. Slow and steady wins the race, not the one who's sprinting towards the finish line. And this Knight of Pentacles shows that your daily little commitment to this passion that you have, to this direction you have, this purpose, or just this excitement. Maybe it's just, again, something that is exciting you, and you don't even know where it's leading, but you're committed to it on a daily level. It might be taking you to a destination that you'll be surprised to find yourself in. And that's what it means to be acting from a place of alignment. We aren't attached to outcome. We aren't attached to the destination, to where it leads us. And that's when we are so pleasantly surprised. You're really in the present moment. Some of you right now, Pile 4. Others of you, you know exactly what goal you're headed towards. You know that destination. And you're also well on your way towards getting there. Others of you, if this was not resonant, then I see this Queen of Wands as someone else in your life, someone who is very on purpose, someone close to you, someone who is aligned, who's very determined and motivated right now, and living in a place of alignment, living in a place of joy and creativity, and just really able to let their light shine freely. And for whatever reason, maybe you are working with them on a daily basis, and little by little, they may be influencing you in a positive way in the baby steps along your journey, in the progress of your journey. I see this almost as a mentor for some of you, and it's a very positive influence. Now we see the Lovers and the Five of Cups here in the middle column, and for some of you, there is a specific relationship that is a big deal for you. It's maybe a present relationship, but I'm hearing from many of you this is actually a past relationship. Beliefs that you have about a past relationship, or pain that you're still carrying about the loss of a past relationship, or maybe something that you lost of yourself in that relationship. Regardless, there is loss and disappointment and grief wrapped up in this very defining relationship in your life. I think that's how we think about the Lovers. It's a defining relationship. It's a relationship that makes an impact on us and changes us. And whether this is a past relationship or a present one in which you're feeling the loss of something, it's the greatest obstacle in your path towards this goal. It's the greatest obstacle on a day-to-day basis, almost an obstacle that just keeps reappearing in your path, even when you are taking these baby steps day to day. As you progress, this is the thing that stands between you and this Queen of Wands version of yourself, this person who is so self-assured and just free to be themselves and determined to be their authentic selves and to honor their authentic selves and to honor what really excites them, honor their passions. I'm wondering, pile 4, if this approach of slow progress, of slow baby steps, for some of you it is slowed down to this pace because you're holding this version of yourself away at arm's length due to past pain that you're carrying in yourself from a past relationship. And the thing is that the Lovers, this isn't about the other person, pile 4. It's always about you. It's always what that relationship taught you or what you believe it showed you about yourself. Maybe there were things that you need to forgive yourself for in that relationship. Maybe there were mistakes that you made, but also maybe there weren't, and maybe you're punishing yourself for something that you don't deserve punishment. Whichever it is, forgiveness is required across the board. Forgiveness and also internalization of what happened. And I don't mean internalization of the pain, but internalizing the lessons, internalizing the growth opportunities, the potential for what it showed you can become, where you need to work, what needs your attention in yourself, what needs healing in yourself. We always learn that in relationship. Some of our greatest teachers are the people who are the most challenging for us in our lives, the people who sometimes hurt us the most. Those are often the greatest teaching opportunities, learning opportunities. And there's something to be learned here, I'm seeing for you, pile 4, regarding you honoring your truest self, you honoring what you're here to do and really embracing it and saying yes. And maybe you could use a little bit of sprinting. Of course, the daily commitment and the small baby steps is a beautiful demonstration of devotion, a little bit each day over a long period of time. But I sense for some of you it's out of fear, and that you're holding yourself back, that you are afraid of really stepping into this Queen of Wands version of yourself wholeheartedly, just being so unapologetically you, loving what you love, being who you are, caring about what it is you care about, letting yourself be excited, letting yourself be determined, letting yourself be really truly motivated without any fear of failure, because the destination, again, doesn't matter. What matters is the daily expression of who you are in your most deep self. It's so important that whatever this loss is, whatever this grief is, that you don't internalize the pain of it, but only the lesson. The 5 of Cups is meant to be a temporary mourning period, a temporary grieving period. Key word is temporary. This was just in pile 3's reading as well, I think, or pile 2, I already forgot. But the temporary nature of a grieving period is so important. And the way we make it temporary is by really letting ourselves grieve, really letting ourselves feel the hard feelings that maybe we don't want to feel, but we have to. It has to be let out somewhere. It has to be engaged with. When we don't, then what happens is we bottle up those feelings and we actually doom ourselves to a permanent grieving period, a forever gazing upon what we lost. We deprive ourselves of the potential to eventually turn around and see what is still standing behind us, to see the next bit of hope, to see the next blessing, to see the rebirth that takes place in the wake of this destruction and loss. Now, the advice I think is pretty clear, pile 4. You heal this situation, you grow through this situation through teamwork, through collaboration, through learning with others, and implementation, really putting into action things that you think or feel on the inside, building something greater than yourselves, and it being with others, in the presence of others. This isn't a solo journey. I think part of the struggle here is that you might be thinking that you are all on your own with this. And the first piece of advice is to recognize that you're not, that you heal in the presence of others, with others, that there is a team of people at your fingertips, and maybe it is regarding your work, being pentacles. Maybe this is, about a specific creative project that you have, that you're working on, and it's about letting other people into that project, honoring the team-like nature of what that process is, or honoring the need for collaboration in that process, not doing it alone. Maybe it's not so much about an actual project, but again, more about your own healing. Maybe it's about finding a healing team. Who's the support team emotionally for you as you melt away this obstacle? Do you have a therapist? Do you have friends that you can talk to? Do you have a support system that is able to help you work through this and transmute this pain into wisdom, lessons, learning that you can take with you? I'm seeing that this need for a team is very much wrapped up with you doubting your new ideas, doubting your intuition, experiencing creative blocks on your own, and maybe even affirming or reverting into old emotional immaturity, or patterns of emotional immaturity that cause you to act very impulsively, make swift judgments, make swift assumptions, and almost out of restlessness and boredom, just feeling like you have to get in there and take action, but it isn't action that's actually rooted in purpose and passion and alignment and the highest part of yourself. It's more coming from this an emotionally mature place. Again, this issue is very linked to you finding your team, embracing the nature of collaboration, of maybe sharing a burden with other people, of admitting that you are one cog in a greater machine. And there can be something so freeing and liberating about that, pile 4. Maybe you're putting so much on yourself right now with this and with this that it makes it feel impossible to move forward. It almost pits these issues against each other, like it's one or the other. Like, you're either putting all your attention on working towards this Queen of Wands state of alignment and creation, or you're dealing with the loss and the pain and the grief of some relationship, whether it's you and someone else, or maybe it's even you and your God, you and yourself. I was talking about a defining relationship earlier. That defining relationship could be the relationship with you. And that's why other people need to be let in. Because this cannot be healed in a vacuum. But the guidance is clear. Other people, collaboration, teamwork, allowing that support system, resting in that support system, will start to straighten out this Page of Cups and this Knight of Swords, so that you're not just taking action out of restlessness or impulsivity or quick judgment, and you're also not experiencing this doubting of your own ideas, this intense creative blockage, series of blockages, or doubting of your intuition. Instead, you're able to trust yourself more, ironically, by having other people as a sounding board, by sharing your inner experience, your inner world with others. That's what we're here to do. Don't let your heart be so closed by this past experience that you're unable to open up to new people, that you're unable to share your journey, your process, your truth with others. You deprive them of a gift in doing so, and you also deprive yourself the gift of being who you really are. I hope this was uplifting and encouraging and gave you some peace in your steps forward. Pile 4. I love you very much, and I'll see you next time.